So, first things first, just want to address it right now. I know my hairline's fucked. So, everybody down in the comments, oh, your hairline's running away from your face. Your hair's running away from your face. Yeah, I know. It's been running for years and I still haven't caught it. Anyways, like I said before, in my research, I did not come across a channel that is a specific person talking about their experience, strength, and talking about their experience, strength, and hope, like we learn in recovery. Now, a little bit about me. My YouTube name obviously is Buns, Bags, and Caps. Any addict will know why it's like that. I made that name back when I was in active addiction. My real name is Mike. I am 26 years old, from a town called Shamokin in Pennsylvania. I started doing drugs. Well, if you consider nicotine a drug, which it is, probably about 14. I started smoking cigarettes when I was 14. Maybe around 15 or 16, I took my first Percocet. I went to a technical college that was part of my high school for culinary arts, and one of the people in that class, I'm not going to put names out there, but one of the people in that class offered me a Percocet. And me, not knowing what it is or what it could do, I thought, all right, hey, you know, this will make me cool. This will get me in with these kids that seem so cool. You know, they're always skipping class and going to parties and all that stuff that when you're 15, 16 years old, you think is cool. You want to do it with them. You want to be part of that group. Well, that was my first mistake, looking up to people like that. Now, don't get me wrong, they are very, very great people, and even though I have not talked to them in a while, I still love them all the same I did back then. They have great hearts, they're good people. They just made wrong choices like I did. Anyways, took my first Percocet, I think it was a Perc 5, around maybe 8:30 in the morning at school. And the way it worked was I'd be in culinary school till noon, and then I would go back down to high school for the rest of the day, do my other classes. So I took that Percocet, and for the next 4 hours of that culinary class, I loved it. It was the best feeling I've ever had in my life. Didn't have to deal with no emotions. Didn't have to deal with any emotions. I could just feel good. Feel good, and it made me way more focused. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I fell in love with it the first time I tried it. Next day, I wanted more. Right away. Right away, I wanted more. And that's just my addictive personality that comes out. Having an addictive personality is very hard. I know a lot of people deal with it. I know a lot of people that deal with it that aren't drug addicts that are addicted to other things. But an addictive personality is very hard to cope with. And I mean, I'm still working on it. Anyways, about 15, 16 years old, took my first perk, fell in love with it, and I was off to the races from there. Once I was 16 years old, I got my license. I started working at McDonald's, and I met somebody else there that became my best friend that would be a huge part of my life for probably the next 4 to 5 years. And after maybe about a couple months of, you know, just smoking weed, doing perks here and there, I started to do them every day. This person that was becoming my newfound best friend knew where to get them and did them a lot. So I took advantage of that. Bought them. I was working, 16 years old. I was working at McDonald's, not making great money, obviously making minimum wage, but I was making money. And when you're a kid, 16 years old in high school, that has a car, and making money, what are you going to spend it on? You're going to go out and party. You're going to buy drugs, cigarettes, whatever you need. You're going to give friends rides because you can drive. You're going to go for rides to go get drugs, drop drugs off. You're just going to be basically a drug mule at 16 years old, driving drugs around. It's really fucked up. Really, really fucked up. But yeah, I started doing Percocet every day. And that went on for years. Maybe until I was about 19, maybe 20 years old. I got introduced to heroin. And from there, it was off to the races. You know, instead of spending $60 in one day to get high, I could spend $10 and be high all day. Instead of getting 2 perks and being high for maybe 6 to 8 hours. I could get 1 bag of heroin for $10, 1 bag of heroin, and be high all day. All day. That to me was just the most amazing thing. I thought I found a holy grail. You know, $10 for something that would keep me high all day. But as I would come to find out, that would not last very long at all. Your tolerance with heroin builds up very quickly. I went from doing 1 bag a day to 1 bag every 4 hours to 1 bag every 2 hours to 1 bag every hour to 1 bag every half hour. And then it just escalated from there. 2 bags an hour, 3 bags an hour, and you get the point. I ended up spending my whole check for McDonald's every other week, which is bi-weekly I would get paid. I would end up spending the, $500-$600 in my check in 2 days. If I was lucky, maybe 3. So from there, I mean, any addict would know what I would start doing from there to get high. Doing anything I can. Robbing, lying, anything I can just to get high. Now, this channel is not going to be about me. I want it to be about other addicts that are still using or recently in recovery. As I stated earlier, in my research, I have not found a channel that is one person that isn't an addict in recovery that is talking about this and trying to help. So this is just an introduction to me and what my channel is. If you want me to talk about anything specific, if you're struggling with anything specific, comment it down below. I'm going to try and have a couple different things I do on this channel. Obviously, I want to get to what you guys want me to do. I also want to share my story. And I would also like to do interviews with people in my family or other people that are either in recovery or still using, or like I said, with my family, I'd like to maybe get with my brother, sister, mother, father, see how my addiction affected them. And I just, there's addicts out there that need help. And when you're in full-blown addiction, you might not be on YouTube watching things like this, but early in recovery, you don't have anything to do. And I know for me, YouTube was a huge thing to keep me occupied. And just recently coming across somebody that just mentioned about them being an addict, and it got me thinking about making a channel like this. So I'm going to give it a shot. Any feedback is more than welcome down below. If you'd like to hear my story or you need help with anything or anything like that, just subscribe. I'm going to try and upload as much as I can. Right now I'm writing down ideas for what I can do, but it's kind of touch and go with what I can think of right now, but I'm sure I will think of more eventually. Also, if anybody does animation and would like to collaborate with me on maybe an intro and an outro for this channel, obviously I will credit you. And also down below, I will leave some links to an addiction hotline, suicide hotline, anything like that, in case anybody comes across this video and is struggling with suicidal thoughts, or, like I said, addiction. There will be numbers below that you can call for help, or you can comment and get in touch with me, and I'm more than willing to talk to you and help you as well. But yeah, I hope this works out, and I hope I can make a change in at least one person's life, because I know I needed it, and besides my family, there was no one really there to mentor me. So that's it. Yeah, stay safe, guys. Peace.